It is no secret that we live in the most stressful time of history. It is the opinion of a growing number of healthcare professionals that stress has become a global health epidemic. Even in conversation we throw the word stress around more and more every day. You only need to stand in line at a busy post office to feel stress and tension rising in the room. People get extremely impatient and start to breath heavier, mumble their unhappiness and start to twitch. In fact, when in line the other days, someone in front of me actually said, "This is so stressful." I thought to myself, what is this person's life like on a day-to-day basis? If standing in line is that stressful, imagine the rest of her day. Having grown up in South Africa, I instantly thought of the unfortunate masses in Zimbabwe that have to wait in line 2 to 3 hours at the ATM every single day just to draw enough of the hyper-inflated currency to take care of their daily needs. Their inflation is so extreme that this is the only way that the country can function economically. It makes me wonder how the person in front of would survive over there, and also how these people manage to cope. Stress and disease. Stress has been clinically linked to the majority of major diseases. Knowing this, I began to wonder about this lady's health and how many current diseases she might be allowing to cultivate in her body through stress. I couldn't help seeing this person as a heart attack just waiting to happen. As a stress management specialist, I'm not one to think negatively. This thought scared me. And this is just one example I experienced recently, but more and more people are feeling the negative effects of stress on a daily basis. A disease like cancer or a stroke doesn't happen overnight. They are the accumulation of years of stress put on the body. When I talk about stress, I'm talking about various kinds of stress. There is physical stress, such as repetitive motion, chemical stress, such as pesticides in our food and chemicals in our water, and emotional stress, that causes our cortisol levels and blood pressure to rise. The American Medical Association says from the beginning of the problem to the first symptom of a heart attack, 43 years go by. Unfortunately, in many cases, the first sign of illness results death. Why are we so stressed? It is scary to measure how much stress is increasing every year. We live in a now society. Everyone wants everything now, gratification must be instant, and patience is quickly becoming a thing of the past. If we could see into ourselves down to a cellular level at all times, we would very quickly think twice about losing patience and getting angry over things that cannot be controlled. Getting back to my example of people in Zimbabwe, what's ironic is they are some of the most gentle, patient people you will ever meet. They have extremely difficult lives living under a brutal dictatorship and struggle to find enough money to feed their families, yet they still smile and are warm and friendly to even foreigners. How do they do it? I believe a lot of it has to do with the fact that they are far more grounded in reality and spirituality than the average Westerner. I experienced similar amazement in Thailand, where a family took me in and treated me as family without knowing anything about me. Their spirituality was so deep it was almost tangible. They simply live it by being selfless. I believe the Western world has fallen so far from our inner selves we have lost sight of what is truly valuable: love, compassion and forgiveness. The Western ideals of getting all you can for yourself are actually poisoning us, and causing an epidemic of death by stress. People have become outer reactive, instead of being inner actualized. As I write this article, it is my hope that you will think about the real meaning of life. Selflessness and truly caring for your fellow human being is one of the primary purposes in life. I hope you can incorporate this ideology into a practical application in your daily life. There is so much negative self-talk and negative talk towards or about others these days. Words are extremely powerful, whether positive or negative. If you took two households with a pregnant wife and spoke positive words to the belly of the one mother, and negative to the other, you would have two very different outcomes in those children. For example, if the mother of the first unborn child has a calm, loving household with spiritual parents who consistently talk positively over the child, you would have a calm baby at birth and possibly for their entire life. If, on the other hand, the other child has irresponsible, alcoholic parents who scream constantly and speak negatively about the burdens of the arrival of the child, it will absolutely have a negative consequence on the baby. Most of us have experienced someone screaming at on the road, and even that seemingly impersonal confrontation can have many stressful repercussions. These events often lead to a lapse in concentration long after the incident and, believe it or not, have the ability to cause accidents. The person that kicks off the chain of events can affect many others. In turn, the person that started the chain was likely put in that stress mode through another chain of events and had a negative impact on them. My point is that we all affect each other every single day and our decisions are powerful. Stress in society. It has been scientifically proven that all matter is a collection of very dense, or sparse frequencies or vibrations. We are vibrational beings and our vibrations, whether positive or negative, are constantly having a reaction on each other, often on a subconscious level. This means we actually affect each other's health. This might seem far-fetched to some, but I strongly believe it to be true. In fact, I will say I know it to be true. As I mentioned before, stress is linked to all disease. The father of stress research, Dr. Hans Selye, proved that all disease is caused from stress. He dedicated his life to the study of stress and the negative impact it has on our lives and health. Look at what Dr. Selye has to say. The body passes through 3 universal stages of coping. First, there is an alarm reaction, in which the body prepares itself for fight or flight. No organism can sustain this condition of excitement, however, and a second stage of adaptation ensues, provided the organism survives the first stage. In the second stage, a resistance to the stress is built. Finally, if the duration of the stress is sufficiently long, the body eventually enters a stage of exhaustion, a sort of aging, due to wear and tear. Dr. Hans Selye. Stress first affects the brain, followed by the nervous system, and then finally all other functioning parts of the body. The big problem with the allopathic, Western, medical world is that even though they know this to be true, they are still in the business of treating symptoms instead of getting to the cause of the problem, probably because there is more money in the comeback, but that is another article for another time. This in short means that if your treatment doesn't go deeper than simply where the pain or discomfort is, you are not treating the cause. If you don't treat the cause, the condition is sure to worsen. You only need to turn on the television and watch commercials to see how big pharma is pushing pharmaceuticals more than ever before. When the side effects are read off speedily at the end, it seems like something from a Saturday Night Live skit, but there is nothing funny about it. The fact that the FDA approves a medication to treat a non-life-threatening issue with a drug that has life-threatening side effects is proof the industry is run by greed instead of love for humanity. We as humans have lost our way. We have moved further and further from our source, and closer to death. We have become a narcissistic society, less concerned with long-term health and more concerned with immediate, selfish conquests. Dealing with stress appropriately is our only hope for long life, happiness and true success in its purest form. I believe that this could save humanity from its current decline. As I mentioned, we all affect each other every single day and our decisions are powerful. Our lives can either spiral upward through sometimes difficult but positive decisions, or downward by taking the easy way out. A powerful way to stay on the upward spiraling path is to incorporate powerful stress relief solutions into your life. One such solution, the most powerful in my humble opinion, is a wellness system I practice, called Alphabiotics. Keeping your body and entire being balanced and making sure internal, physical stressors are removed, goes miles toward an increasingly positive outlook, allowing you to make better decisions and choices each day. If you haven't already, I urge you to make the decision today to begin walking the upward spiraling path, and you'll never regret you did.